Welcome to the Heilige Amud Yomi Shiur. Very interesting stuff. You've got to stay with us because we're going to learn so many interesting things about Chiyuv, Malchus, and Kores. And we're going to learn a lot of things from the Bible. We're going to learn lots of things from Tanakh. Says the Heilige Mishnah in the bottom of Chav Gimel Amud Aleph, bottom of the page Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. Says the Mishnah, this year is for the birthday of Reperetz, our friend. He should be matzliach and live long and happy till 120. For the refuah of Pnicha Bas Gula Rochel, Chana Batzima, the Shevach Bas Eslachuma, for the Atzloch of Klal Yisrael, and Ilu Nishmas Mafada Menachem and Akiva. Mishnah, Kol Chai Bekisus Shaloku Niftiru Yidei Kisosom. A person who's Chayv Kores, but he was warned that he will get Malchus, which according to Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva, the beginning of the parak works, which means, give me an example for Chiyuv Kores. A person is about to eat Chelev, about to be Boyel Nida, and two people tell him, listen, this is Chiyuv Kores, we warn you personally, personal attention just for you, that if you're going to do that, then Beis Din will lash you, the right. They give him Malchus, yeah? Not every Malchus is Kores, right? And not every Kores is Malchus. But Lemaisa, the Kores, Lav Shesh B'Maisa, Kores, if not, nobody else knows, and there's no Saw, no Malchus, the ultimate thing, the default thing is Kores. If he warned for Malchus, you get Malchus. Okay. Now, the guy went to Beis Din, he was standing there, humiliated, and he chapped the 39. What happens then? The Kores in Shemaim, exonerated. He does get exonerated, unlike the one he spoke about. There is kapara, and he doesn't have chorus anymore. That's a really, really, really good bargain. How do you know that that's true? It says, "Shenema v'nikla achicha leinecha." Your brother shall be put to shame, shall be embarrassed in front of you. Ksheloka areu ke'achicha. Why is he called a brother? Is he a brother? The guy ate chelev in the middle of the street, mechutzef. But because he got Malchus, he's back to being a brother. Why is he the brother? Because he doesn't have chorus anymore. In other words, once he has the Malchus, he's clean slate, he's a tzaddik, he's an ach, he's a brother. Divrei Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel. These are the words of Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel. Whether Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel is standing alone or do other people agree with him is going to be a discussion later. Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel. Another statement of Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel, something to encourage all of us. A person who broke one Isser, let's talk now about Isser of Kores. Kores means the person's neshama is taken away. Olam hazeh, olam habo, children. Kores means somehow to be cut off from the lifeline. If a person broke one Avera, noitel nafsho, not any Avera, let's say Isur Kores, for example, Isur Arayes. If so, a person who commits a positive commandment, or a person who actually holds himself back and refrains from sin, even though it's really, really hard, but he stops himself, then all the more so much, much, much more so, that he will get life. The nefesh will be given, his life will be long, his connection to Hashem will be strong, everything will be good. And why is that so? Why do you know that if the bad brings bad, then the good brings much, much, much more good? You know why? Because we have a concept of meruba midat toivo. The Yomim Noroim are approaching, and we're all going to say this posuk, right? Yeah? Oiseh chesed la'alofim. What's oiseh chesed la'alofim? When it comes to a sin, poikid oven ovis albonim shileshim al ribeim. A person sins, it affects his children if they don't do tshuva, 4 generations. Masha'inken, if the person who does a mitzvah, the Oiseh said it's 2,000 generations. How much the relation between 4 and 2,000? Yeah, 500 more, right? 500 more. Yeah, and therefore it's meruba midatoiva, 500 more. So we know that midatoiva, however much Hashem punishes, Hashem gives much, much, much more. Okay, Rabbi Shimon Oimer, Mim Koimai Hu Lomed. Rabbi Shimon says, I don't need to learn it from a Kal V'chomer. Actually, the concept that a mitzvah grants you much more sachar, that concept, you learn it from the pasuk itself in the Parsha of Arayas. Shenema, it says in the pasuk there, "V'nichretu nefoshes toisos." When the Torah tells you, yeah, in Vayikra Yudches, the Torah says, if you have relations with who, mother, mother-in-law, daughter, man, animal, blah blah blah, the whole thing, nida, the whole story over there, all these interesting relations, yeah, whichever one or all, yeah, of all these stories, it says at the end, nichra to nefoshois, anybody, man and woman who does that, boom, they get chores. Okay, the oimer, and you know what it says right before? What is the pasuk that introduces these averas? Asher yasois adam v'chai bahem. It says, look at the pasuk in the sidebar. Ushmartem es chukois mishpot asher yasois adam v'chai bahem. You should guard the chukim and mishpatim. You should do them chai bahem. A person lives, yeah, he gets his life. He gets good spiritual, physical, long life by keeping the mitzvahs and refraining from all these averas. Yeah, all these temptations that are very strong, very hard. If you hold yourself back, the sachar you get is tremendous. You can't even imagine. And from here we learn something new. Because what are we talking about over there? Don't have relations with that woman, the other woman, with your sister-in-law, with that sister-in-law, yeah? And what's it telling me? You're going to have life. Life from what? From not doing it. If you sit back, you hold back, and you don't perform the Avera, you don't do the Avera, you get Sachar as much as Oisa Mitzvah, if not much, and which is much more than the punishment for the Avera. If the punishment for the Avera, a guy had relations with a woman in the forbidden way, he gets that amount of oinesh, of punishment. So this times 500 is a sachar if he refrains, if he holds himself back and he doesn't have relations with her. Yeah? And it's considered as an active mitzvah. Rabbeinu Yoina, I saw it yesterday in the Shar Shlish and Shar Tshuva, Elul Shar Tshuva. So he says the idea is that you really mekayim a mitzvah saseh of Yiras Hashem. Why do you hold yourself back and you don't touch that attractive woman which you really like? Why don't you hold yourself back and you don't click on that very problematic website? Nobody's there. So why don't you do it? In a dark room by yourself with a smartphone and unfortunately not filtered, very, very tempting to click the button. Yeah? This is a nisan every day by all from people because you fear Hashem. So it's really mitzvah saseh. It's a mitzvah saseh. It's Hashem Elokecha, tiro. So really, all lo ta'aseh, you get the tremendous schar of mitzvah saseh. That only says Rashi. Rashi not here. Rashi in a different place says this is only true if it was a temptation. Yeah, you don't get sachar for not having relations with Prince Abela from Sydney, Australia, because you never saw her. You don't get sachar from that, but you get sachar for if chas v'sholem you get in touch with next door neighbor and you stop and you don't look at her and you don't have anything to do with her. That's already some reason to give you a lot of reward. Rabbi Shimon Barebi Oimer. Rabbi Shimon Barebi gives us another source, another perspective on the same idea. Rabbi Shimon Barebi Oimer. Harei Oimer. It says about eating blood. Rak chazak. Oh, we saw it in last week's parsha. Be strong, chazak. Be strong. Lebil tiacholes Adam. Adam. Kedam or nefesh. Yeah, the blood is the nefesh of the behema. Blood is a higher part of the behema's spiritual part, yes, relatively. You're not allowed to eat blood. Did you hear what the Torah is telling us? Be strong. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be strong. Don't drink blood. Don't drink blood. You should say, be strong and don't touch the women. Be strong and don't bite your, don't sink your teeth into this very, very tasty chicken and butter. I don't know. Yeah. You're starving for 2 days and they offer you. That's an nisayon. But you're telling me to be strong and not eat blood? What's the point? Says the Mishnah, Umayim Adam, Shenav Sheshalodam Kotza Mimenu, even blood, which naturally a person is repulsed by blood, and yet a Posh Mimenu Mikabel Sachar, a person who stops himself and doesn't drink blood, a goy offers you, come have a cup of, is that borscht? No, it's blood. Sorry, Mr. Mackenzie, perhaps another time. Yeah, so you get schar for that? Apparently, yes. Even something which you're not so attracted to, not at all, you get sachar. to some level, and the Torah says chazak. I get if so. Gezel v'arayes. These are the two main problems: money, non-kosher money, and arayes. Various of relations. A person's soul automatically is always attracted to money and to women. Yeah, and there's taiva, there's chimud, you covet it, you want it. If you stop yourself and you hold yourself back and you don't click the button, you don't look at the woman, you don't touch, you don't eat, you don't do the gezel, all the more so, much more of schar you get. She is keloid. Listen to this. You're going to get schus veladoroisov to future generations. Veladoros doroisov atzov koladoros. Wow. Can you imagine? One time you overcome the Yetzer Hara, one time you tell the Yetzer Hara, no, I'm not looking at that billboard, I'm not looking at that woman, I'm not doing this. And what do you get? You get sacha, eternal sacha, forever and ever, yeah, to no end. Worth it. Rabbi Hanan ibn Akasha Omer, now I feel like I'm in a Sephardi shul. Rabbi Hanan ibn Akasha Omer, Rotza HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakos is Israel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create merits, to give merits, zchusim, to Israel. That's why he increased the amount. He gave us a lot of Torah mitzvahs. שנאמר, השם חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה ויאדיר, יתגדל ויתקדש. Hashem chafetz l'man tzidkoi. Hashem wants our tzedek, yeah, to give us tzedakah, charity. Yagdil Torah v'yadir. That's why Hashem increases the Torah. Explains the Rivan. What does it mean? Hashem gave us the mitzvahs. I'm asking, and the Rivan is answering. Of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He gave us Torah mitzvahs because that's the right thing to do. What do you mean in order to give us sechar? Says the Rivan, this goes on the heels of what we just said before. What did we say before? Why does the Torah have to tell me not to eat ants? Come on. Nobody wants to eat ants, right? I mean, you can claim about the lettuce, that's a shaila. But to go ahead and eat an ant, I mean, except for some people in certain cultures, Rivan says no normal person wants to do it anyways. Oh, I'll give you another good answer. I think that's what Rivan means. If you eat one sheretz, how many lavim do you get? 4, if it's a C1. 5 if it's on the ground, and 6 if it's a flying one. Why so many? Why so many? Why isn't one enough? Yeah, if you eat one bee, one fly, one mosquito, you get 6 lavim. Why? You know why? Because Hashem, why the increase? Why so many? Because Hashem says every time you wash your lettuce, instead of eating it, every time you wash your lettuce with the soap and you make sure it's clean, you get 6 times sachar. Don't look at the negative, look at the positive. One lettuce, which is not bodek, not katif, has gazillion averis in it. If you wash it well and you make sure it's clean, you get gazillion mitzvahs forever and ever. That's the trick. That's why Hashem increased the amount to just, it grows, basically, it grows in such a way, exponentially, you get so many mitzvahs and so much chor. That's worth it. It's worth it. What did we say at the beginning of the Mishnah? Thank you very, very much. Says the Gemara on the heels of the beginning of the Mishnah. What did Mishnah say at the beginning? Rabbi Hanan ibn Gamliel says what? If a person got Malkus while he should have gotten Kores, the Malkus exempts him, exonerates him from the Kores. Good deal. Really, really worth it. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Chalukin olav chaverov al Rabbi Yochanan ben Gamliel. Says Rabbi Yochanan, I told you it's not so clear from the Mishnah. So Rabbi Yochanan says, the Chachamim, Rabbi Hanan ben Gamliel's friends, they argue with him. And so what do they hold? Rabbi Yochanan says, I'll tell you what they say, that even if you get Malkus, you still get Kores. Yeah. Get Malkus, that's not enough. You get Malkus, go home, drink tea for a month and sit with a pillow with your blankie. But then what? You still get the chorus afterwards. That's what they hold. Amar Avada Barava, Amri Beirav, Taninan. Avada Barava claims that Rabbi Yochanan's statement is superfluous. It's redundant. Yeah? Why? Because Taninan, we said in the Yeshiva Beirav, this, what you're telling me now, what did Rabbi Yochanan really say? That according to the mainstream opinion, when you have Malkus, you're still not exempt from chorus in the world to come. When you die early, you die, maybe kids dying, you die and you are not facing Hashem in Olam Haba. Okay, all that we say is a halacha, is not Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel. He claims, Ravad Barava, that it's almost Meforsh in the Mishnah. Why did Rabbi Chanan have to tell me that? Look, Tninan, it's a Mishnah, it's almost Meforsh in the Mishnah and Megillah. What does it say there? Ein ben Shabbos le'Yom Kippurim, el shezeh zdoina b'Odom v'zeh zdoina b'Koris. Yeah? The only difference between Shabbos and Yom Kippur is that Shabbos zdoinoi, if a person breaks Shabbos on purpose, who takes care of him? Beis Din. What does he get? Skila. V'zeh zdoina b'Koris. Mashenke, and what's Koris? Yom Kippur. There's no oynish misa, no execution by Yom Kippur. You don't keep Yom Kippur b'mezid, mocking Yom Kippur on purpose outside shul. What happens then? You get chorus. So that's the only difference. In other words, that's taken care of by human beings, and that's taken care of by Hashem, Yom Kippur. The in Isa, now that therefore let's infer the right thing from this Mishnah. Im Isa, if you think that Mishnah does follow Bichnad ben Gamliel, then Idi ve'Idi b'de'odamu. Then both Yom Kippur and Shabbos are b'de'odam. What does it mean b'de'odam? Both Shabbos and Yom Kippur are really taken care of by human beings. Let me tell you why. Shabbos, don't get confused. Shabbos, we said, except for Rabbi Shmuel, according to most opinions and halacha, Shabbos, because the Mezid is b'dei odom, misa b'dei odom, you never get Malkus. There's no Malkus for Shabbos. Okay? No Malkus for Shabbos. Now, so that is human being punishment. But hey, why are you telling me in the Mishnah in Megillah, according to Bechnan Gamliel, why is the Mishnah in Megillah telling me that Yom Kippur is b'dei Shemaim? Not true. Look, Yom Kippur, if I gave the guy a straw, he's going to get Malkus. He'll get Malkus b'dei Odom. It'll be human punishment by human body, right? And then he won't get the chorus. So the Mishnah said in Megillah, according to Bechnan Gamliel, is not true because it's both b'dei Odom. That's killing b'dei Odom, and that's Malkus b'dei Odom, and no chorus. Must be the Mishnah in Megillah, which seems to be a mainstream Mishnah. I looked the Mishnah today. It's in Megillah Daf Zayin. It doesn't say this opinion, that opinion. It's an anonymous Mishnah, which means it's a halacha. It's a mainstream opinion. So you see the mainstream opinion doesn't hold like Bechnan and Gamliel. They believe that Malkus, still, even if you get Malkus, you still get chorus, right? Okay? So therefore, we see the halacha, the mainstream, the most people don't believe Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel. So why did Rabbi Chanan have to tell me that it's Meforsh in the Mishnah? I think I should repeat it. Let me repeat the claim. The claim is as follows. Let's start from A because I can see by your eyes. Again, right from the start. Bereshit bara Elokim, I'm fighting the music over here. First, Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel said what? If you go to Beis Din, you're a lucky man. You were warned before you smoked on Yom Kippur, let's say. And what happened then? And they took you to Beis Din to give you Malkus, right? Good. They gave you Malkus. No chorus. Yeah, very nice. Says Rabbi Yochanan, Chachamim argue on that. Chachamim say, no, you get Malkus and you still get chorus afterwards. Okay. Says now that people claim against Rabbi Yochanan, which Kiddush you're telling me? It's before the Mishnah in Megillah. Why? The Mishnah in Megillah said as follows, that the difference between Shabbos and Yom Kippur, Shabbos you punished by human beings, and Yom Kippur you punished by who? Shemaim. According to you, Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel, that's not true. Because according to Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel, Shabbos is beskila, no question. Shabbos has no malchus, skila. And Yom Kippur is also b'dei Odom. Different type of Odom, but still you're being punished by lashes, and the lashes take away your chorus. So it's only b'dei Odom. So both of them are b'dei Odom, right? And therefore must be the Mishnah, which is Chachamim, which is the mainstream, which is a regular opinion. This Mishnah does not hold Rabbi Chanan Gamliel. So why did Rabbi Yochanan have to tell me that? Rabbi Yochanan is not a Mishnah teacher from Kita Bet. He doesn't have to tell me what I can see for myself from the Mishnah. But the answer, you also get the question better. Okay? Says the Gemara, no. Two answers. Answer number one. Yeah, Rav Nachman ben Yitzchak Omer, Homani Rabbi Yitzchaki, De'omer Malkus b'chai v'krisus leika. The Gemara is now reminding us of the third opinion of Daf Yud Gimel. Remember what we learned in Daf Yud Gimel? Let me refresh your memories. We said like this. Rabbi Shmuel believes that any Aveira you get chorus, even if the Misas be the Odom, such as Skila or Chenek or anything, if you're warned for Malchus, you get Malchus. We don't hold of that opinion, Lalocha. The real opinion which we hold Lalocha is Rabbi Akiva. He says if it's something like Shabbos, you don't get Malchus because it's Bide Odom. If it's chorus, then you get Malchus. Now the third opinion is now coming to play here. That's Rabbi Yitzchak. What did Rabbi Yitzchak say? Rabbi Yitzchak said that Malchus b'chai b'krisus leika. Oh, Rabbi Yitzchak says when it comes to Yom Kippur, there are no Malchus. In other words, Rabbi Yitzchak, yeah, he's not even in the game. He's not even in this Mishnah that we just learned. What did we just say in our Mishnah? If you have a chiyuv chorus and you get Malchus instead, chorus and Malchus, what happens then? Yeah, then. What do you mean then? It doesn't happen according to Rabbi Yitzchak. According to Rabbi Yitzchak, if you get chorus, there are no Malchus. So could be the Mishnah in Megillah is the Mishnah that followed Rabbi Yitzchak. Get that? That's why he said, by Yom Kippur, there's chorus, and ultimately there are no Malchus. According to Rabbi Yitzchak, they can't live together, chorus and Malchus. It's either or. So maybe the Mishnah in Megillah Zayin is Rabbi Yitzchak, but really, the other Tanoim, Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shmuel, maybe here, they either agree or don't agree about the what's going to happen to the guy who got Malchus in Shemaim after he dies. I don't know. And therefore, Rabbi Yochanan has to tell me that. So don't tell me Rabbi Yochanan wasn't Mechadish. He was Mechadish. That according to the people who are not Rabbi Yitzchak, they believe that you have chorus and you have Malchus. What happens? Is Malchus going to exonerate for what happens in Shemaim? I don't know. I need Rabbi Yochanan to tell me that they argue on who? On Rabbi Hanani ben Gamliel. Mashenka, the Mishnah in Megillah is completely out of their opinion. There was a Yitzchak who Bechlal didn't believe that Malchus and chorus can never coexist. Very good. You don't get Malchus for chorus. And how did Rabbi Yitzchak know that? Yeah, Rabbi Yitzchak Bechlal Hoyu. Rabbi Yitzchak says that all Chai Krisis are mentioned together in the Pasuk, in the Psukim of Arayas, in all the sins of intimacy. Why did the Torah have to repeat and write in Achoisoi Isul Kores? Laduna beKores lo beMalchus. Remember, I explained it to you then. When the Torah says Kores about a sister, after it already told me Kores about sister, so why do you have to say Kores? Why twice? Excluding from Malchus. Yeah? Yeah, somebody's not sure if I mean Coke or General Pepsi Coke. I say Coke, the real thing. I'm coming to exclude Pepsi because I repeated Coke twice. So I'm saying to exclude something else, right? I never drink the stuff, but besides the point. Yeah, Alamaisa, that's the point. He believes Kores, excluding Malchus. So that's answer number one. So Rabbi Yochanan didn't speak it wasn't superfluous. He has to tell me what the non-Rabbi Yitzchak opinions would hold. Answer number two. Ravashi says, "Afilu tema Rabbanon." Even according to Rabbanon, ze ikar zdoni b'dei Odom, v'ze ikar zdoni b'dei Shomayim. Yeah, what does that mean? What is the default punishment for Yom Kippur? Not Malchus. I would call it in nice American English, Plan A and Plan B. Plan A, Plan B, meaning. The Mishnah over there spoke about Plan A. The Mishnah in Megillah tells you what's the normal default punishment. And the Ritva says the worst punishment. What's the worst you can get by Shabbos? Death, skila, from the roof, boom, yeah. And what happens by Yom Kippur? Unless some two smart guys came and warned you for Malchus, they're actually doing you a favor. Unless they came, your default punishment, what's the worst punishment? Unless something happened, chorus. So it's still true to say in Megillah that normally Plan A regular default is Misa B'dei Shemaim Shabbos and Chorus by Yom Kippur. Our Mishnah is a different story. Our Mishnah could be, everyone would agree with Rabbi Hanan ben Gamliel, if the guy had Plan B. What's Plan B? Right before he lit the fire on Yom Kippur, two very Haredi people came and said, "Hey, you're going to get Malchus." They lowered him to the punishment of Malchus, and he will get Malchus, which is very nice of us to give him Malchus, and then he'll be really exonerated from Chorus. But that's Plan B. So the Mishnah and Megillah and our Mishnah are not contradicting. They're not even talking about the same story. That's a lechatchila punishment, and that's a punishment, if so, would have been, could have been, should have been. The second plan, the Plan B. And therefore, don't attack Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan's point is still very valid. Let me repeat again. The Mishnah in Megillah says, what's the worst thing that can happen to Mechalel Shabbos versus Yom Kippur? Finished. Our Mishnah says, what happens in plan B? The guy got Malchus. Now comes a new question. If you got Malchus, does everyone believe Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel that Kos is out of this game? Or we don't think that Kos is out? That's a very valid question still. And Rabbi Yochanan is not saying redundant things. Rabbi Yochanan is telling us that really people argue on Rabbi Chanan Gamliel, and they say that even if you get Malchus, you still get Kos afterwards in Shemayim. Okay, yes? Yeah. Omar Avad Barav Omar Rav. Halacha Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel. Halacha is really Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel against Chachamim. If the person got Malchus, if he received the lashes, he doesn't get Kos in Shemayim. Omar of Yosef, you're not going to believe this question. Says Rav Yosef, Man salik le'ela ve'osa ve'omar. Who can go upstairs to Shemayim and come back and tell us? Did you hear that? He says, how do you know what Hashem decided? How do you know, that really HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgave? How do you know Rabbi Gamliel is right? Who can tell us that Hashem forgave the guy who received Malchus and decided not to give him chorus? Have you been to Beis Din Shamal and back down near that experience? Well, I don't know. He says, well, what's going on? How do you know? Amalei Abaye. Abaye replies to his Rebbe and says, El Adam of Bishur ben Levi, according to your logic that we don't know what happens in Beis Din Shalmala, halachically speaking, I'll challenge you from the following statement of Rabbi Shua ben Levi. There are three things that were established, three halachas that were invented, established by Beis Din in our world, Shalmata, Veskimu Beis Din Shalmala al Yodom, and Beis Din upstairs, the heavenly court, agreed with the halachos, the Rabbanon, of Beis Din Shalmata. Soon we'll explain what they are. I promise you that's going to be a big issue today. But by your logic, Rabbi, Man Salik Leila ve'Omar, how do you know? How do we know the Beis Din Shalmala agreed to what Beis Din Shalmata do? You don't believe in us having communication, Wi-Fi, with the Kodesh Baruch Hu's Beis Din. So, Ella, so you know how we know? Kai Kadorshinan, Achinami Kai Kadorshinan, which means, just like, this is a very good answer for secular people, Lavdil. We darshan the psukim. How do you know what God said? I read the Torah. The Torah is a message. The Torah is a message from Hashem. Just like regarding the Beis Din, the three takonos of Beis Din, which are agreed upon with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem agrees to that. How do you know he agrees? It's merumas, it's alluded to in the psukim. If we have remes in the psukim, we have Chazal who know how to read between the lines of the psukim. So too, when it comes to yes or no for giving the chorus after receiving Malkos, I know it from the psukim. Which psukim? The Nikla Achicha. Achicha, that was a pasuk. Look at the Mishnah. Let's go back to the Mishnah for half a second. It says, V'nikla Achicha Leinecha. Your brother is put to shame in front of you. So you see, if the Torah calls him brother, I have Kabbalah. I didn't invent it, says Rabbi Chanan ben Gamliel. I believe from my Rebbeim, I believe from the tradition I have. When the Torah calls him brother, it's not just to be nice and say, hey, brother. It's coming to say he's a brother, he doesn't get chorus. Okay, I'm going to have that on YouTube. Okay, now comes the Gemara with a fascinating piece of information over here. Gufa. Let's concentrate now on what? On that statement which we saw before tangentially. Amar b'Shua ben Levi. Shloisha dvorim osu Beis Din Shalmata. There are three things that Beis Din Shalmata, the earthly human Beis Din, they did, they established, they decreed, and Beis Din upstairs agreed upon them. The Ritva says, listen to this, I'm very happy I opened the Ritva this morning. He says something fascinating. The common denominator between all three cases we're going to see is these were three things which would have been halachically problematic. Beis Din can't do whatever they want. Beis Din can't decide today, Beis Din with big white beard and three humongous Talmidei Chachamim, Kol Torah Kula, Nois Nisim and Moifsim, they can't say, today we decided from now on, you'll have to eat Chazer and marry a Shiksa. That doesn't work. That works by Rabbi Elizabeth, not by real Rabbonim. So when Chachamim established certain lochas, which borderline on a halachic problem themselves, you need the haskama of Beis Din Shalmala, and you need to have some kind of halachic framework to explain why it's okay to do it. Let's go now to all three cases. What are those three things which Beis Din did and got the stamp of approval of Beis Din Shalmala? Eluhen Mikra Megillah v'she'elas Shalom b'Shem v'avoas ma'aser. Let me just elaborate a little bit. Mikra Megillah, I think there's a festival called Purim or Purim, something like that. Yeah, and what do you do in Purim? You get dressed up. What else do you do? So Mikra Megillah, the mitzvah of Mikra Megillah is a Rabbanan invention. Who established it? Mordechai and Esther. And they're very choshev people, but they're human beings. And all of a sudden, what are they doing? They're adding a mitzvah. I saw the Gemara last night, which I read for quotes. It says a novi cannot be mechadish a mitzvah. A novi can warn you that the bavlim are coming. A novi can tell you, hey, you better behave yourself. Yeah, ship up or ship out. The novi can tell you good things. The Mashiach will come, but the novi can't tell you, oh, I'm prophesizing and I'm getting an epiphany that really you're supposed to wear a green shirt Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. No, he can't invent that. Maybe it's an Eitz Toivo, but not as a mitzvah. You're not allowed to add the mitzvah to the Torah, not even if you're the greatest Navi. And therefore, how can they add the mitzvah of Mikra Megillah? So you can say it's the Rabbanon. So what if it's the Rabbanon? They're still adding a chiyuv. You hear that? Unbelievable. The whole Rabbanon concept is schwer to understand. Although the Torah does tell me I have to listen to Chachamim, that is when you have a hachra, a decision within Torah. Yeah? Last week's parsha, we saw the pasuk, don't deviate from what they tell you to the right or to the left. That's Beis Din that decided whether that piece is kosher or treif. Then you have to listen. But how do you know they have to listen to them when they invent a whole new mitzvah called Purim? Maybe they'll invent a new chag. I don't know what, the 5th of October, the Chat Shalom, not 7, I mean, not October, whatever. Bad example, invent whatever, 18th of July. You can't, that is mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah. Therefore, listen to what the real reason is, before we go to the Gemara. The Gemara in Megillah says, because we know there's a concept of Hallel from the Torah, from Shira Sayam, Chachamim expanded the concept of thanking Hashem, and they made, I'm not joking now, they made all kinds of Thanksgiving holidays for the Jewish nation, Hanukkah and Purim, but it's based on a Doraisa, they're expanding an existing mitzvah of thanking Hashem, which is really ingrained already in certain places in the Torah, such as in Shira Sayam. We won't go into details now. Yeah, but even Rabbanon mitzvah, it's important to know, has to have its roots in the Oraisa. The Tilas Yadayim is an offshoot of going to the mikveh. V'chule v'chule. All the Rabbanans have to somehow relate to the Torah. Rabbanon invent a whole new idea disconnected from the Torah. They can't. Holshek and all kinds of rabbis today can't do that. Okay, so now that's the first thing. What's the second thing? Shelas Shalom B'Shem. What Shelas Shalom B'Shem? Let's say you meet your friend in the street and you say Shalom Aleichem. Shalom is the name of Hashem. Who says you can say the name of Hashem upon your friend? You know that to tell a goy shalom is not so simple. To tell a goy, I'm asking a question. I don't know if I'm right. I think it's an issue to say the word shalom, not hello or good morning. You meet Tim McKenzie and you say shalom, shalom. It's not so simple. Because to put the name of Hashem over somebody has to be a chashivus. Or some people say that shalom is even with the Shem HaMefurash. There were times in history where Chachamim established either that you're allowed to, or some say you should say bless your friend with the name of Hashem. You tell him good morning. In Megillah, very good. Yud ke vav ke adoy should bless you. You bless him with the name of Hashem, and it's not called bracha Hashem levatolo. Yeah. So how do you know that's okay to stop say the name of Hashem when I meet my friend Chaim Yankel? What's the third thing? Vavas Meiser, bringing Meiser is a Rabbanon idea to have Meiser to the Kohen. Rabbanon established such an idea that Kohanim should have Meiser. Yeah, it's not Doraisa, it's Rabbanon? Obviously not, it's Doraisa. What's Vavas Meiser? In the times of the Novi, they made big changes. Ezra and Nehemiah were very upset with the Levim. The Levim didn't make Aliyah from Chutz La'aretz, so therefore they made a takana that they're not going to get the Meiser Rishon. And they said Meiser Rishon should be divided evenly between Kohanim and Levim. Another takana they did was that instead of each person giving Meiser to his friend the way he likes, to his favorite Kohen and Levi, which is the Doraisa, Toivas Ano, I'll give my Maisa to whoever I want. They said, no, it has to be state-run. It has to be run by the government. You all come to the same lishka, which I think was in Beis Hamikdash, and the Beis Din will divide it between the Kohanim and some Levim too. Why? Because he used to give it to the Levim or over the Zorah. My favorite Levi is a nice guy. He's my neighbor. I feel bad, yeah. And I give him my Meiser. The guy happens to have 50 idols in his house, and he's a Levi, and he gets a Meiser. So when they saw that that doesn't work, they made a takana that it has to be centralized, government run, and everyone should give the Meiser to one central place. And then the smart people on top, they would divide it to the good Levim and the good Koyanim. But it's still, it's a Chiddush. Because with Oraisa, you're supposed to give it to the Levi, and you're supposed to have your own control over it. So now, how do we know that all these three questionable Drabanons were agreed upon by the Beis Din Shel Mala? Let's see. Mikra Megillah, Dichtiv, it says, Kiemu v'kiblu Yehudim. What's Kiemu v'kiblu? It says twice. Yeah, Kiemu, they were Mikayim, they enforced what? Confirmed what they already accepted before. Thank you. They confirmed what was accepted before. In other words, what the Yidden accepted downstairs in Olam Hazeh to celebrate Purim, which is a very novel idea, in Shamayim they confirmed it. They gave the stempel. The Shelas Shalom. How do you know that Shamayim agreed to the concept of saying Shalom with the name of Hashem? Dichtiv, it says in Megillas Rus, V'ine Boyaz bami beis lechem. Boaz came from Beis Lechem, and he told to the harvesters, the people reaping and harvesting the grains, Hashem is with you. Yeah, what did he say? He didn't say Hashem. He says Adoi with you. What? Yes, that was allowed. And you know what that was allowed? Says the Ritva, because that time they forgot the name of Hashem. Either they forgot how to pronounce it, or they forgot about the Kodesh Baruch Hu. There was a need at that period of time to Davka mention the name of Hashem more, to bring Hashem into our lives more. People forgot about a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And another pasuk to confirm that you bless a person with the name of Hashem. It says the Malach, the angel, told Gidon, Hashem imcha gibor achail. Hashem should be with you, you mighty hero. Why do we need two psukim? Why isn't it enough to learn the pasuk from Boaz? Why do we also learn about the angel with talking to Gideon? It says, "V'chitem Boaz David midaite." If you only bring the pasuk from Boaz, Boaz was a great person. He was an Av Beis Din, right? Okay, very nice. Boaz, he decided by himself, as his own thing, to mention the name of Hashem when he greets people. How do you know Hashem agreed to that? Maybe it was an Avera, maybe it was questionable, maybe it's not right, as much as it was great. You're looking for cases where Hashem agreed. How do you know Hashem agreed to that? Toshma, very good. The one who said to Gideon, Hashem is with you, was an angel. Oh, angels don't make mistakes. An angel is Shliach of Hashem. And if he told Hashem imcha, and apparently angels are not supposed to say Hashem levatolo either. And therefore, yeah, very nice. So now we know Hashem agrees. You may greet your friend using Hashem's names. Havas Meiser. Third case. Havas Meiser. How do you know that bringing Meiser in a way that is not exactly prescribed by the Torah, how do you know that Hashem agreed to it? It says there in the Novi, Haviras kol Meiser beisa oitzo. Bring all the Meiser to the oitzo. Bring it all to one storage house. Is that right? No. You're supposed to bring the Meiser, each one, to his own favorite corner Levi. They established a new idea. Everything has to be centralized, like the central bank. And yet the Pasuk says, V'teref bevesi, there will be food in my house. There will be what to eat in my house of Hashem. Ub'chanunin abazois emer Shem tzvokos. Test me. You're not allowed to test Hashem. The only time you're allowed to test Hashem is with what? Meiser and tzedakah. Here's the source. You give Meiser, and Hashem says, test me. Yeah, challenge me, test me. If I don't open to you the windows in the sky, the sources of abundance, yeah, I will be merik, I will empty out, I will keep, giving and giving bracha, yeah, emptying from Shemaim into and filling the earth with bracha to no end. My ad bli die exactly. What does it mean ad bli die? Until no end. What does it mean? Amami barav ad shivlu sifsesechim eloim die. You'll have so much abundance. You'll say already stop, it's too much, and your lips are going to hurt you from saying die. Whatever the pasuk is coming to tell me, what's the Russia is, you'll have so much abundance, you won't believe it. You'll say stop. It will be so much because you give myself. Amar blozo, on the same vein, similar concept, similar statement. This tea saving my life, Yitzchok. Amar blozo, saving my throat. Amar blozo. Begimel makom Sophia ruach hakodesh bebeis dinoi. No. Yeah, bebeis dinoi. 3 times Beis Din Ofia, which means there are 3 times Ruach HaKodesh, Hashem's spirit, Hashem's Ruach appeared, doesn't just mean appeared, proved. There were 3 times that the Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, interfered and made his point and proved his point in Beis Din. Usually that's not the story, right? Hashem doesn't decide halacha. We saw it in Bava Metzia Memtes with Tanur Shalachnoi. But there are 3 occasions in which Hashem did make his point in Beis Din to clarify the halacha or the shkofa. First, the Beis Din shel Shem, the Beis Din shel Shmuel Ramosi, the Beis Din shel Shlomo. 3 Bate Dinim in Jewish history. The Beis Din of Shem, that's where Tamar was judged. They thought she was a Zoina, harlot, and this. The Beis Din of Shmuel at the end of his life, and the Beis Din of Shlomo. You ever hear about Solomon? How do you say it in English? Mishpat Shlomo, there's a word for it. Solomon judgment. No. The court case when he said to cut the baby, yeah? So that time when he said to cut the baby, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself appeared, yeah, in Shlomo HaMelech's court. And we were going to go one by one and explain them all, Be'ezras Hashem. The Beis Din shel Shem, yeah? What was the Beis Din of Shem? What was the occasion? What was the event? Dichtiv, it says when Tamar said, please recognize who is the owner of those 3 items that I got as a pikodon, as seemingly a harlot, as what they thought she was. Dichtiv v'yaker Yehuda v'yomer tzadka mimeni. Yehuda admitted and he recognized and he said, yeah, she is right and I'm wrong. I messed up. She's right. Wait a second. It's so nice. It's so humble. How did he know? Dilma kiechi de'ozel hiu legabo. Maybe just like he went to her for one night, one time. Maybe other people went as well. In other words, maybe those items may belong to other people as well. She shows him those items. I don't know. Maybe another guy has the same belt as me. Maybe another guy has the same chosemes, same thing as I do. In other words, how do you know I'm the only guy in town? Maybe the night before, the night after, other people had relations with her. That's why she's pregnant. Yeah. So how did you know so clearly? Right? Answers the Gemara. You could argue on that point, the Gemara will, but that's what we say now. Answers the Gemara. Yotza bas kol ve'omo mimeni yotzu kvushim. Sodko mimeni. A heavenly voice. A bas kol came and said, mimeni yotzu kvushim. What does it mean kvushim? The bas kol said, Yehuda, you're not sure exactly who's the father. Is it me or her previous client or next client? Maybe Tamar became a harlot. Maybe she went off the derech. I don't know. Elamai, that comes the Choil Mishmayim Baskol and says those kivushim came from me. What's kavush? Hidden. Those hidden ideas, that hidden concept, the what? That from somebody seemingly like a zoyna, she dressed up. Yeah, dafka from such relations, which wasn't so simple. And Melech is going to come out because Melech HaMashiach, David the Mashiach came from that. Those hidden things came from me, says Hashem. You, Yehuda, you deserve Malchus. Yehuda was always the Melech. He was the one supposed to get Malchus. Why should these Malchus come through the back door like that from a woman who's not supposed to be with him because she's his daughter-in-law and she dresses up like a harlot, blah, 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 blah. Hashem says, all that hidden stuff leave to me. I decided that Malchus will come through the back door. You know what they say. So the Yetzer Hara cannot attack it. Yeah? Yetzer Hara can't give Ein Hara on relations that are not so kosher. The most kosher family, the best family in town, to get all the good shidduchim, they attract Ein Hara. But this way, when the Mashiach comes through all the back door, the Bnei Sloit, Yehuda, Rus, Jewish, not Jewish, Dafka through the questionable places, that's hidden through the back door, and through there Mashiach can come. without the Ein Hora of the Satan. Next, the Beis Din shel Shmuel. In which event, what was the occasion in which a bas kol appeared in the Beis Din of Shmuel? Dichtiv, Hineni onubi neged Hashem v'neged Mashiachoi. When Shmuel Hanavi was about to die, he gave a long and hard musar shmuz to the people. And one of the things he told them, I want you to prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong if you think you can. Neged Hashem and neged Mashiachoi. Against Hashem and against his anointed one. It's shor mi lakachti. Did I take anyone's ox? Did I take anyone's donkey? Shmuel Hanavi was very careful not to take anything, any tzedakah, any tavasano, any money, any funds, any overhead funds of the Amutah. He never took for himself. And he says, prove me, and as I'm about to die, prove me if I took anything from you. And they said, Lo yashaktanu, v'lo yotzaseinu. Very good. They said, no, you didn't take anything from us. And then again he said, Vayomer, Ed Hashem ve'ed Mashiachoi, ki lo metzasim biyadi me'uma. And then he says, okay, let's testify. Hashem is an Ed, and so is Mashiach, that you did not find anything in my hand. Vayomer, comes the response, Vayomer, Ed. Okay, and he said as a response, who's talking? Shmuel. Shmuel says, Hashem is a testimony, Hashem is a witness that didn't take anything. And then comes the response, Vayomer, Ed. And the other party said, Ed. What? Vayomer? Vayomer mi boile. What do you mean? It's a lot of people. It's Shmuel talking, corresponding, conversing with them, not with him. If I talk to all of you guys, I say Vayomer, you are Vayomer, not Vayomer. Why does it talk in singular, not plural? It should be plural, right? It should be Vayomer. They all said unanimously, they all said shouting gleefully, Ed, I won. Oh, wait, you're right, but not yet. The Gemara says not like that. This is not the people talking. It's really HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm the Ed. You, Shmuel, said that Hashem should be the Ed, the witness that your hands are clean. You're not Chas v'Shalom, a white collar kind of, no. And Hashem says, I'm the testimony, I'm the witness that nothing was taken by Shmuel from the people. What you said, Yitzchok, I'll keep in the back burner. Very, very, very nice. Now, third case. The Beis Din of Shlomo. The Beis Din of Shlomo HaMelech. What Beis Din of Shlomo HaMelech? What happened then? Dichtiv. Vayan HaMelech, the two women came to they're also harlots, by the way. The two women that came to Shlomo, each one says, the baby is mine. The one died, and she stole the baby from me. And the other one said, she stole the baby from me. What did the king say? And he said, what? Cut the baby. So one of them said, no, don't cut him. The other one should have him. The other one said, cut him. I prefer he gets cut rather than growing up. By the other lady, she votes for the wrong party. Give her the live child and don't kill him. She is the mother. How does he know? It sounds very logical, but also very simplistic. You think women are not smart? They're very smart. Maybe that woman was really not the mother, and she faked it very well. Perfect. The reverse psychology. She's not stupid. Maybe, like, how does someone know so well, right? Maybe she says she's being like the Polish mom. She says, no, let the other one take him, because really she's not the mother. She's playing it very well. She's a good actress. As if she's the mother, she's playing games. She's manipulating. How did Shlomo know so clearly? Elamai, Yotzes Baskal V'Omro, he imoy. Must be there was a heavenly voice that came and helped him, and she said she's the mother. And by the way, that Mishpat Shlomo, established it Chochma, right? After that Mishpat, everyone believed that Shlomo is very, very smart. He really got Siyata Dishmaya with a bas kol. Now the Gemara is going to refute all three logic. We're going to see what you said. We're now going to refute everything we said and come back to a different source. Yes? Weiter, the Gemara now wants to refute everything we said. Amarove, Mimai, how do you know what forces you to say that in all these three cases, really, we talk about a heavenly voice, there's no other solution? How do you know? Mimai, how do you know? Dilma, maybe, Yehuda, for case number one, Yehuda and Tomar. Kevin the Chashiv Yachi Yomi. Let's say Yehuda, he looked at the ultrasound results He asked for the ultrasound. He knew exactly how many months and how many days. Veisami, yeah, and he made a cheshbon. Let's say he asked whoever knows, the women, whoever knows, yeah, she's 6 months pregnant and 3 days, whatever. And he said, oops, I was with her 6 months and 3 days ago, right? No. So that's why maybe another guy was with her 5 minutes before you. Still, the chazinan mechzakinan, the lo chazinan lo mechzakinan. In other words, what we see, we assume further. What we don't see, we don't. In other words, if I know that I was with her, that place with the Zoina, where exactly 6 months and 3 days ago, and it looks like the ultrasound results came from a Lumit 6 months and 3 days. No, I highly, highly, highly assume I'm the father. Yeah, maybe there's another guy before. Well, I don't know. I know I was, and others, I don't know if they were. And therefore, it's simple logic. How do you know it's Ruach HaKodesh? Maybe figured it out by calculating the dates. I guess they had the chokhmah to know that. Now, next one, Shmuel Nami. As Yitzchak said very nicely, you know why it says Vayomer instead of Vayoimru? Kulo Yisrael Karlu B'Lashon Yechidi. Dechtiv Yisrael Noisha B'Hashem. Sometimes we refer to the Jewish nation as one. And maybe Vayomer means they said with one voice. Yeah, en mass, in unison, they said, we are one, all telling you, and yes, we all agree you didn't take anything, as Am Yisrael is referred to in singular. Yisrael Nosha. Yisrael was saved in singular Lashon. Shlomo Nami. Oh, Shlomo, how does he know that she's not faking it? Since one of them showed mercy, the other one didn't show mercy. What does it mean? We just thought that they can fake it. Says the Ritva something very, very goinish. There are only two options, either one woman or the other. No other women were fighting, right? So Lamaisa, if a person says to cut him, she's clearly not the mother, right? Maybe the one faking can fake and say, give, but a mother would never say to cut, clearly, right? So that's obviously logical. Yeah, there's only Shprinza and Bela. Shprinza says cut the baby. She's not the mother. That's insane. Yeah, you only hear about that. I don't know, really, really crazy people. That's already beyond insane. So if there's only A and B, by default, A is not the mother, so B is the mother, right? Maybe one can fake it. You don't fake up to saying cut him, right? And therefore, all three cases, I have another explanation. How do you know that the Batskol came from Shamayim? I refuted all three proofs. Ela, dam bamam bamam, Gemore. What does Gemara mean? We're all learning Gemara all day long. Gemara means it's a Masorah Balpeh. That's what Gemara means. Gemara means we have no source in the Torah clearly, not even logically, but we are Gomer. We learn from the rabbi who learns from the one above till Har Sinai, till wherever. Yeah, we have a Masorah from the times of Shmuel of Shlomo that this is the case. They knew that. They did know that. The Gemara. They knew that that was the case. It's merumas in the psukim, but not proven from the psukim. And we have an oral tradition. Gemara is really oral tradition, and that's how we know it. Weiter. So in those cases, it was known by the Chachomim, who apparently did know what's going on in Shemaim. They knew that Bas Kol was there. Yeah, Shlomo Melech could tell them, I heard a heavenly voice. Maybe other people in the courtroom also heard a heavenly voice. Maybe everybody heard it, or the tzaddikim, and they passed it on with tradition to the next generation and to the upcoming generations. Yes. Let's just finish the Amud, okay? And then we'll hear more. Dor shel bishamloi. Oops. All right. Dor shel bishamloi. Rabbi Shamloi, he made a drosha, famous. How many mitzvahs are there? Shteshmos v'shloshes mitzvahs nemol el Moshe. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu was given 613 mitzvahs. Here's a source, Rabbi Isai. Makkos Chav Gimel Amud Beis. Shloshmos v'shishim v'chamesh lavin. There are 365, as you call them in English, negative commandments. There are 365 don'ts. Keminyan Yemoi Sechama. They are equivalent to the Yemoi Sechama, to the days of the year, to the days of the solar year. There are 365 days. 248 active commandments, keneged evov shel odom, corresponding to the person's evorim, to the person's organs, to the person's body parts. Why is the negative against the days and the positive corresponding to the evorim? Says Ivan, you're supposed to do good stuff with your body. You're not supposed to stay like that and say, I'm not having relations with anybody. I'm not this. I'm not touching my smartphone. I'm not. You're supposed to do the mitzvahs, which are mitzvahs say, are about the organs, about the mouth, the nose, the ears, everything. Yeah, your everything, your feet. In order to do mitzvahs, you're supposed to be kind mitzvahs with everything you have that's active. The days of the year is the negative. It says don't break, don't do any avera throughout the year. And then I was thinking a little bit. Well, the Maisa, the Chama is the Teva, right? The Maisa Chama throughout the year, don't do anything bad. In other words, let the days go by without you without you dirtying those days with your Averis. Let the days go without any Averis. That's because time is not something active. Time just passes with good or with bad, right? You have a desert. Time passes in the desert, which nothing happens there, and time also passes in Times Square, where there's hustle bustle all the time. Yeah, in other words, it does make a difference. You just let things stay as they are. Don't ruin it. Don't destroy the teva, the nature, the days of the year as they come in and out with the sunrise and sunset. Leave them as they are. But your body is something active. You're not supposed to be chas v'shalom a vegetable in hospital, chalila. Supposed to act. What do you act? With good deeds. Weiter, weiter, weiter. And then I'll hear you. Amar v'imnuna Maiko. What's the source? What's the pasuk? Torah tziva lanu Moshe moirosho. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah. Yeah, it says at the end there. Yeah, it was just a bracha. Torah, the gematria. What's the gematria of Torah? Shisma v'chad sari havi. The Torah given by Moshe. Torah, gematria of Torah is how much? 611. Where's the other two? Anoichi v'lo yelecha mipi agvurosh manum. The two mitzvahs which were not given through Moshe, but directly from Hashem, and we all heard them directly in our Sinai, are Anoichi v'lo yelecha, the first two commandments in the 10 commandments, and that's why we say Torah Moshe, 611 from Moshe, plus 2 directly from Hashem. We got 613. Tomorrow, Chavdalad Amud Aleph, and Sunday, I think we should still meet here. I don't know how long this year will be, but tomorrow, Be'ezras Hashem, and then Sunday afternoon, everyone's invited to the Heilige abode of Rabbi Tzvi Rosen, Sunday, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Be there or be there. Hatzlacha Bracha, and I want to hear Ellen's Chidush Torah. Thank you to people on Torah Anytime on YouTube. Be Matzliach. Kol Tuv. Yes.